Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We have an ayah on the screen and the translation. Even though it's easy for everybody, let's still ask the question. What surah is this from? What surah? Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay, good. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. And so this ayah on the screen means only you we worship and only you we ask for help. Or more or less the translation depending on which published translation you pick up. Okay, first question. There's two of the word you in translation. There's you here and there's you here. Only you we worship and only you we ask for help. Okay, so what's the word for you in Arabic? The word for you in Arabic over here is actually just the ka by itself. This ka over here and this ka over here. Iyaka, only you. Good? Now in English there's also two we. Sorry. There's also two we. So where are the two we? It's already colored. But still, let's go through it as if we didn't already know because of the color. We worship and we ask for help. So logically speaking, now that the ka means you, we worship is na'budu. And we ask for help is nasta'een. And out of these two words, the only thing they have in common is that noon at the beginning. This blue noon right there. That's the only thing these two words have in common. The noon at the beginning. So that's the one that means the we. Okay, now in this session, we're going to focus specifically on one word. The word we're going to focus on is na'budu. Na'budu. Which means what again? Worship. Actually, we worship. Okay. Words in Arabic, they all have root letters. Now that we already know that the noon is there for we, what are the root letters of na'budu? The root letters of na'budu are ayn, ba, dal. Ayn, ba, dal. Now a comment about root letters is that if you're calling them root letters, then you cannot switch the order. You cannot put ba before the ayn. That would make ba'd. And ba'd means after. It has nothing to do with worship. So if you want these three letters to be called a set of root letters, they have to be in that order. Okay? So each letter and the order of the letter. If you have the same three letters and the same order, that means that it's going to have the same meaning. And the meaning is what again? Worship. Okay. This word is a very common word. Let's find some other places that this word appears so that we really master this word. Okay? Let's try to think of a small surah. A small surah everybody knows. A small surah that we say in the 2 rak'ah of Fajr. Of Subh, the Sunnah right before Fajr. Very commonly known surahs. Yes. لا أعبد ما تعبدون. What are the letters again? Ayn, ba, dal. Okay. So أعبد. Does it have these three letters? In the same order? Yes, it does. What about ta'budun? Ta'budun is just one word. Does it still have these same three letters? In the same order? Yes, it does. It has more, but it still has the same three ayn, ba, dal in that order. Correct? So yes, they do mean worship. More specifically, actually let's go look at the whole surah. Surah Al-Kafirun, we said. So looking at the whole surah, let's translate the whole surah. قل, say, Ya ayyuha, O you, Al-Kafirun. Let me know. Al-Kafirun. Disbelievers, good. La is for negation. La a'budu, I don't worship. Last time it was na'budu, we worship. And now this one is a'budu, I worship. And la a'budu, I don't worship. Ma, what? Ta'budun. Y'all worship. You guys worship. Let's keep going. Wala, what's la again for? La is for no, yes. And antum, y'all are not. ولا أنتم, and y'all are not. Y'all are not what? عابدون. This alif in the middle, you see the alif of عابدون? This alif here makes it for doers. Y'all are not worshippers. Y'all are not worshippers of what? ما أعبد. I worship. ولا أنا, and I am not. And I am not, tell me again, عابد. It's got the same alif here in the middle. So how do we translate again? Worshipper. And I am not a worshipper. Ma, what? عبدتم. If you read in the translation, it says, you worship. But hold on a second. تعبدون is you worship. And عبدتم is you worship. What's the difference? It's not the same word. The top one, تعبدون, is in the present tense. And the bottom one, عبدتم, is in the past tense. So literally we should translate this as, and I am not a worshipper of what y'all have been worshipping this whole time that Rasulullah was giving da'wah to the Quraysh. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You haven't been worshipping. Or I am not a worshipper what you've been worshipping this whole time. And then the ayah is repeated, and y'all are not worshippers of what I worship. Lakum dinukum, to you be your religion. Wali, and to me, deen, my religion. Okay, good. Let's look for another place that has the same word. So what's the root letters again we're looking for? Root letters? Ain, ba, dal. Okay, Ain, ba, dal, which means what again? To worship. Okay, so we're looking for another surah that has this word again. It's also a very short surah. Let's think. We have actually 3 more to find. We have 1 surah now, and we're going to find 2 more surahs. So let me know. فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت. فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت. Ain, ba, dal again. That's a big word here. But it doesn't matter. This fa, la, ya doesn't change the fact that it's still Ain, ba, dal, doesn't it? It's still Ain, ba, dal. So it still means worship. Definitely. This is in Surah Quraysh. Yes, Surah Quraysh. By the way, there's no Surah Al-Quraysh. Quraysh is the name of Quraysh. There's no Alif Lam on Quraysh. So we say Surah Quraysh. Okay. So this ayah in Surah Quraysh says, then let them, فَلْيَعْبُدُوا, then let them worship. Then let them worship Rabba, master, هذا, this, Bayt, house. Then let them worship the master of this house, meaning Allah, who's the master of the Kaaba. Alhamdulillah. Let's look for another one. What's the root letters again? Ain, ba, dal. Which means again? Worship. Okay, it was still on the screen. Alhamdulillah. Let's go find some more ayat. Okay, this one might be a little tricky. But maybe people already know the word. Many people have this name. It's the name of, like brothers have this name. Muslim brothers. Abd. Abd. Yeah, Abdullah. Abd, does it have the same root letters? Ain, ba, dal? Yes, Abd has the same root letters. Let's find a short surah that has the word Abd. Juz Amma, yeah. A surah that's barely half a page long. A surah everybody knows of. Maybe not everybody's memorized it, but everybody knows of this surah. Surat. Let's actually look at the ayah first. عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى. What's the surah? What surah is this? If you recite to the end of the surah, you'll find what surah it is. أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى فلم يعلم بأن الله يرى كلا فإن لم ينتهي لنسفعا بالناصية ناصية كاذبة خاطئة فليدع نادية سندع الزبانية. And then the ayah of sujood. And what surah does sujood come in? Surah Al-Alaq. Surah Al-Alaq, which is known to be Iqra. Yes, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Very famous surah. So this is also in Surah Al-Alaq. أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى. Now this ayah means the ayah 9 that's not on the screen here. Ayah 9. أرأيت الذي ينهى. Have you seen the one who prevents or stops or forbids? Like النهي عن المنكر. Forbids. ينهى. Have you seen the one who forbids? عبدا. He forbids a slave. إذا. When? صلى. He performs salah, meaning he prays. Have you seen the one who forbids a slave when he performs salah? So didn't we say that Ayn Ba Dal means worship? Are we saying that every slave worships his master? Like Bilal ibn Rabah, before he was freed by Abu Bakr? Did he used to worship his master? Did he used to worship his master? No. So does Abd only mean worship? No, it doesn't. This gives more wealth, more depth to the meaning of the word na'budu. You see? We started from the ayah of Surah Al-Fatiha. إِيَّاكَ na'budu. Only you, we worship. But now we know that abd in this ayah means a slave. So, Ayn Ba Dal is not only worship. It's worship and give yourself in the service of. Become a slave. Put yourself in the servitude of someone. And so, ibadah, na'budu, when you do ibadah of Allah, you are worshipping, but you're also submitting yourself to Allah as a slave, at your service. I'm at your service. Now, this word abd is very common. Abdullah, the slave of Allah. Abd, a slave. What's the plural of this word? The plural of this word also comes in Juz Amma, a surah that's not quite as short. It's about a page long. This word also comes in Juz Amma in the plural form. And I mean, we know the root letters, so let's think about what the root letters should be. I mean, what the word should be for slaves or the righteous servants of Allah. Many times at the end of the khutbah, the Imam will say this word. We actually say it every day in tashahhud. التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله. عباد. Is there a surah with the word ibad? Let's write it down first. We're looking for the word ibad. Ibad. Somewhere in a surah in Juz'an. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي. Good. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي. What's the ayah after that? فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي جَنَّتِي. What surah? Surah Al-Fajr. Yes, Surah Al-Fajr. وَالْفَجْر وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي. So this passage here in Surah Al-Fajr is talking about, let's do the last 4 ayahs. يَا أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةُ ارْجِعِي إِلَى رَبِّكِ رَاضِيَةً مَرْضِيَّةً فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي. فَادْخُلِي, enter. Then enter. Enter, fi. Enter, in. Makes sense. Fi ibadi. So ibad by itself, what's the word again? Slaves. It's the plural of abd that we had right here above. Right? The plural of abd is ibad. What about ibadi? Ibadi means my slaves. So now the whole ayah, فَادْخُلِي, enter in ibadi, my slaves. Enter in my slaves. Huh? Yeah, enter in the presence of. This is figurative, not literally inside the body of somebody else. No. Enter in the presence of my slaves. And the next ayah clarifies it. The next ayah, وَدُخُلِي جَنَّتِي. And idkhuli again. Enter. And enter Jannati. My Jannah. My Jannah. Ya Allah, inna nas'aluka al-Jannah. Birahmatik. Ameen. So now we know much more about the root letters. Ayn, Ba, Dal. Ayn, Ba, Dal is the root letters we've been studying. We started from Surah Al-Fatiha. إياك نعبد, only you we worship, right? And now we've discovered more meaning. Worship and serve. Worship and put yourself into the servitude of Allah. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الكريم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم.